So this is a World War II destroyer. She was built as a replacement for the 143 that were lost during the Second World War. Over 11,000 men died, and this one was built as the emergency class, one of 96. And this was built on the Isle of Wight in a commercial shipyard, J. Samuel Wright's shipyard, Isle of Wight, and built mostly by women, because by 1944 most of the men had gone to war, supervised by men of course. So when she was commissioned, her job was Arctic convoys. So she served in the Atlantic, assisting the crossing from America with goods and food to here, UK and Europe. She had 225 men on board. She's fully armed as a destroyer. She had four big guns, 4.5s, 2 at the front, 2 in the rear, and she had midship torpedoes with 225 men on board. After the Second World War, she did a few normal surveys, Mediterranean and Pacific, but then she was mothballed. That means she was shut down, put away, tucked away. But then she was brought out, and she was uprated. So her midships torpedoes were taken away, and most of her hammocks, because all the men were hammock slung, were put bunks in, and she was downsized to 190 men. Now with her guns also, this is A gun, behind me is B gun above it, and at the back was X and Y gun, and X gun was taken away. And instead of X gun, she was commissioned with CCAT system, that's surface to air missiles, and a SQUID system, which is depth charges, which actually replaced the midships torpedoes. She carried on working until 1972. She was paid off in 1972 right here at Chatham Dockyard. But during the life after the war, she did do Royal Yacht Britannia escort work. In 1971, she was on the Firth of Forth in Scotland and had a race with another destroyer known as the Rapide, but this ship won. She did 32 knots, and she received an accolade as fastest ship in the fleet, and she still holds that record today, 32 knots. No other ship commissioned to this very point in 2024, Royal Naval ship, has exceeded that speed.
.5-inch, that is 114 millimeters Mk4 dual purpose gun, 2 twin mounted turrets, now one forward and the other after. It's capable of engaging surface targets and providing anti-aircraft fire. Approximately this munition has 12,000 kilometer surface target. An effective altitude for AA fire was about 10,000 meters. Itself, this munition on this system has a 40 meters buffer gun, typically used for close range air defense. Now it's positioned in twin or single mount on the system. It also has a 20 millimeters Oriclon cannon. Now a smaller caliber anti-aircraft gun for close range air defense. Also, the breech compartment houses the gun turret compartment, where we talked about the 4.5-inch gun turret that houses munition, host and machinery for loading and firing. It also has a submarine. Now, and anti-submarine warfare munition with depth charges. Now deployed from rack or throwers at the stern, is used to combat submarine by detonating underwater near target. It has a squid mortars, though was upgraded during the Cold War. 3 barrels anti-submarine weapons. It replaced traditional depth charges later in its career. HMS Cavalaya, also worthy of note, that it has torpedo, a 21-inch torpedo fired from quadruple torpedo tubes. This is massive. The naval mine, it is also capable of laying mines. Like many destroyers, it could be equipped for laying naval mines, though it's not its primary function. Now, Cavalaya munition reflects the evolution of naval warfare from World War II through the Cold War, with upgrade ensuring she tackled temporary threats, but now it's been retired in the dockyard. It is not in its ship that is positioned somewhere underneath the water, say behind the rock, behind the little rock surface, so to say, that could be controlled from the ship. So this is what is meant by naval mines. Part of what HMS Cavalaya does, but primarily it's not her job function. Now this area is the bridge and command area. This area that is located here at the top, it houses navigation, steering control, command system for the captain and officers. Now the bridge and command area, located at the top of the structure, where you can see, as we said, it houses the navigation and control system with commanding officer and key personnel managing the ship. Now it also has the operation. This is still the operation area that contains communication and radar equipped for coordinating the ship's action during any engagement. It also have the weaponry compartment, where you can see gun mounted at this inch 4.5 turret, where supported by below deck magazine where shell and charges were stored. It hosts the transported munition to the gun. Then also, it has control, or do I say it has a link to the torpedo. These are the signal lamps and antenna used for communication and navigation. So let's look at each of them and the significance they wield, if we may, on HMS Cavalaya or Cavalier. So white ensign, that is the naval ensign. The white is the naval ensign. White field with red St. George's Cross and Union Jack in the upper canton is the official ensign of the Royal Navy. It's flown at the stern when the ship is in commission. Now the Union Jack, that is the Jack flag, The national flag is the national flag of the United Kingdom. It's a combination of crosses of St. George's, St. Andrews, and St. Patrick's. It's flown at the bow when anchored or moored. It indicates the ship's nationality. Now, the signal flag is a set of colorful flags, each representing letters, numbers, or phrases. The International Marine Signal Flag is used for communication at sea. Now, it's displayed on halyard and yards for signaling other ships. Example, the Bravo or the Papa. Now, the Bravo itself is a red flag that indicates dangerous cargo or fueling, while the Papa itself is the blue with a white square, which means personnel have to return back to the ship. This is the main deck. It's open and unobstructed for operating weapons and launching depth charges. The midship and aft deck house various weapon mounts, the torpedo launcher and depth charge equipment. These points also have the superstructure, which is called the bridge. It's a prominent enclosed command center at the center of the structure, equipped with windows for visibility and armored to protect against shell fire. It has its masts, forward and aft masts supported communication antennas and radar system. The mast, forward and aft masts supported communication antennas and radar systems. The funnels. Two tall cylindrical funnels arm ship to expel smoke from the boilers, distinctive to destroyers of her class. We have the pennant number, which is the HMS Cavalier pennant number of R73 that was printed on it. It signifies the ship within the fleet and represents her role as a destroyer. Now, the commissioning pennant itself is a long, narrow pennant flown from the main mast, traditionally